his potential playing with you?
Well, first of all, it was a really tough pick because there's a lot of good guys in the draft. We were looking at maybe 4 players that we felt if Baltazar went 1 and Bearfield went 2, there was a choice for us about 4 players that we were looking through. And eventually, again, it was really, we went back and forth, one coach liked this guy, another coach liked that guy, and then later on they would flip. This went on for a few days, and but the bottom line is that we just felt that RJ would be an elite player at his position, maybe even a transcendent player. You know, he has the potential to be that kind of player. So it was just somebody we just couldn't pass up, even though we would have liked the size of some of the other players. But I kind of compare it to the time when, back in 1992, when we were drafting with Alaska, and we had the 3rd pick, and there was Junlin Put, number 1. Big Pablo number 2, and we were hoping for Big Pablo. We had number 3. We were hoping for Big Pablo, and they took Big Pablo. And we went, oh man, we gotta take Johnny Abarrientos, and so we took Johnny, and of course, never looked back. And because we're always obsessed with size. We always want to get the big player first. And so that's something we battled with. We wanted that size, especially after trading Christian. There's a big hole there, and so we really debated on it, but we just said that we just couldn't pass up on RJ. Just like we're hoping it turns out, 3rd pick for RJ, 3rd pick for Johnny, both Abarrientos. Kind of poetic, we thought, and really nice story actually.
How do you compare him with Johnny? Although RJ, I think, haven't seen him.
Well, they're different types of. They're not exactly the same. I think RJ's more of a lights-out scorer. He can really score, but he has the versatility. He can score. He can also. He's a tremendous passer. He can create, just like Johnny could. It's a different game now than it was back then, and so it's kind of hard to compare them because they're from different eras. But Johnny, without a doubt, was the best of his era. We'll see how RJ is in 2 or 3 or 4 years, and can he raise to that same level as that Johnny was? But he's going to get that opportunity with us. We recognize him as a potential star, so we're going to give him that opportunity to try to shine.
What do you think about your guard rotation now with Stephen Holt and RJ Abarrientos?
Well, the good news is that Stephen has enough size to play, various positions in the lineup. So we can move him around. Scotty has always been really at his best as more of a 2 guard, only because it allows him to do different things rather than handle the ball all the time. Allows him to cut and get behind the defense and rebound and do all those Scotty things. Sometimes when he's having to handle the ball all the time, it's kind of a burden on him, and he doesn't get to do a lot of the other stuff that he gets to do. He has to pay more attention to handling the ball. That's why he played so well with LA when he came into the league. He played really well with LA, and we're looking at that being the case now. He can move a little bit. He'll still be a primary ball handler, but with RJ, some of the burden will be over. And the one thing with our old Alaska team with Johnny is that you could not pressure us. Johnny was a one-man press break, and we think RJ is the same way. One of the things that really gives us a hard time is pressure. But with RJ handling the ball, I don't think it'll ever be a problem for us. Also, it will enhance our transition game, our ability to get up and down the floor, and he's a great floor spreader. I mean, one thing he has over Johnny, and again, that wasn't the forte of players back then, but one thing he has over Johnny is his three-point shot. He can shoot it. Johnny wasn't a prolific three-point shooter, not because he couldn't shoot it, just that it wasn't that much of the game back then. So RJ's a really prolific three-point shooter. excuse me, as well. So, just he'll bring a little bit of different dimension than Johnny did to us, and I think he'll play really well with Mav and Scotty and Holt, Stephen, because they can all play the off guard, the point guard. They can swing to the third guard if they need to. We play a 3-guard lineup. That's how we envision those guys all playing together.
Coach, how do you see Isaac Go fitting in the big man rotation of Ginebra? Isaac Go.
Well, now you're asking about my team and not the draft anymore. Sneaky again. We just think Isaac will be a good triangle fit. We have to kind of explore his game, get to know him a little better. He hasn't had a lot of exposure in the PBA yet. He had one good conference this last time. He recovered from an ACL injury, and he's 28 years old, so he's not that. It's not like he's a 22 or 23-year-old big man. He's in the prime of his career right now. Stephen Holt is 32 years old, so we're hoping that over the next, we have a window of 4 or 5 years with him that we can really take advantage of his skills. But neither of them are really rookies in the real sense. So, but we're going to have to explore Isaac's game a little bit. Don't forget, we still have Japeth, and Japeth is still very athletic. He's still playing at a high level, so we'll see if Isaac can come in and really run our triangle.